Good morning and welcome. New location, slightly better office than you're used to seeing me in. New place in Dorset, hence the lack of videos, which I explained in a quick brief update I did. Back with a bit of a bang on this one because this is the Chigee AIO-6 LTE with 4G. It's a great piece of kit. I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm just going to walk you through what it's like because I think it's a Kickstarter at the moment, just about to go on full sale. It's a really nice piece of kit. Even if you're coming from the AIO, I can never say that, I'm really sorry. The AIO-5, which was the previous version which I had and I've reviewed quite extensively, and I enjoyed that. This is a good step up. So we'll come into the which one's for you a bit later on. Whether you should be going for the 5, the 5 Lite, the 5 Play for the 5 Play for BMW, the 6 Max, the 6 LTE. Starting to be quite a huge range of options now. What I like about the AIO-6, yes, I said it, is it's modular. If you go for the full beans, there are 3 boxes that you're going to need. 2 if you don't have a BMW. If you do have a BMW, it's a beautiful piece of kit because it's now so well integrated. So what you got in the boxes, you've got 3 separate boxes which will come with the AIO-6. I've got the LTE version, which has got lots of online optional over-the-air stuff going on, which I'll cover a little bit later in the video. The BMW mount, that's very simple. It just replaces the mount that comes with it in the box and allows you to click straight into the sat-nav GPS mount. Beautifully easy for installation. They always had the issue of how do we connect cameras to it if it's on the BMW Play mount, a GPS mount, because you can't get power out to the cameras. So what they've done is they've given a direct wire to the battery along with the clip into the mount, so you can use it. The Max version doesn't come with the cameras. You can plug that straight in and go. Still has all the data, just doesn't have the dash cam facilities. With the BMW mount, what it does is it gives you a direct wire to the battery which powers the cameras and passes the data into the AIO-6 Play. What you can also do at the same time, it has a quick release cable on it, so that just unplugs and plugs. I mean, in reality, I'm not clipping this thing off every time I get off the bike. The fact it comes in the 3 different boxes, you've got the cameras, you've got the BMW mount, and you've got the actual LTE stuff itself. Camera mounting and installation, pretty easy. It's the same as all of these dash cam stuff. It's sticky pads. They've got a great little mount which, rather than needing a flat mount or a curved mount, the mount actually bends and it works. I've got it on the I've mounted to the rear light on my bike that I've just put in. I've got it mounted to the front, as you can see on the video, and very easy to install. Just push straight on, feed the cables through, cable tie them up. The main power cable then wires into the battery. I've run it up through the tank, almost identical to the Innovv K7 review I did, which shows you where all the cables run. And I refer you again to, there's a YouTube channel called A Bike Thing. He does a great strip down for the R1250 and the R1300 GS, where to run all these cables. So the main unit itself, when you see the video footage I'm going to show you, it looks like it's really reflective. Kind of ignore that. It's a 360 camera I've got mounted off center because of my tank bag, so it's picking up the reflections from sideways on the bike. When you're actually in front of it looking at the display, there's no issue with reflection, so don't let that put you off. It can act as a remote for a GoPro and an Insta360. I've tried it, it worked, it's really easy. Immediately turned it back off again because I've got the camera right in front of me. It's easier for me to press the button than it is to fiddle around on the screen accessing it. The unit itself is actually IP69K, which I had to look up, I have to say, because I'm used to IP68, which is the general waterproof, dustproof. And the IP69K for the main unit means it's actually jet wash proof as well. I'm not going to jet wash mine. Why? If you go for the LTE additional features, you get a free SIM card that comes with it, so you don't have to order a SIM card separately. In fact, there's no benefit to ordering a separate SIM card because you still get charged for all the data transfer from Chigee anyway. What it comes with a first year free or 2 gigabytes worth of data transfer, then it's 30 quid a year. That 2 gigabyte free, if you're not streaming live video, should, in theory, but I'll be testing it, last the whole year. So it's effectively £30 a year subscription to keep all of the online features. And those online features are pretty extensive actually. You've got route tracking in the app, which I can give you a quick show of now. You'll see it pops up and it shows you all the routes and where you've been the previous day, your top speeds, your average speeds, all the rest of that stuff you'd expect. I mean, it's a nice to have. It's not necessary. There's plenty of iPhone apps that will do it, but the whole point is this is all in one now. You've got location tracking on the bike. You can log in, see where your bike is any point at any time. You've got geofencing, so you get an alert if it leaves a certain location. You've got vibration alarm on it. If the bike rocks, you can set the sensitivities on that. You can view the data in the app. You've got real-time streaming if you want it. It is likely to prove expensive because you're streaming video over a SIM card, so it's going to use up that 2 GB pretty quickly if you are doing that. It's got emergency SOS and fall detection as well, so it's got a tilt sensor on it, so once it's on the bike and it's running, if the sensor goes over a certain tilt angle, then it'll call your loved one, who can leave you in the ditch if she wants to. It's got BMW Wonder Wheel control, really easy to use. Again, it's just you just hold the menu button down to actually flick it into recognised, exactly the same as you would with a Garmin or a GPS sat-nav. And then you can scroll through all the different data screens. You can move up and down through the CarPlay stuff, Android Auto stuff. The Chigee Go app, I hadn't used that for a long time actually, because I moved from the AIO-5, see I told you, I couldn't say it, AIO-5 Lite to the CarPlay one, which didn't use the Chigee Go app. And it's evolved a lot. I'd recommend for the SD card. You're probably going to want the 256 or not 512. 256 is the largest card it will support, and there's also a bit of an issue with SanDisk cards at the moment. If you format it in the unit, it then can't be read by a Mac, so don't use the SanDisk cards. Use an alternative like a Lexar, something good quality, high endurance, because it's going to be written to a lot with the dash cams. In actual use itself, I'm going to show you some footage now, and I've got footage in different ways. So first of all, let's talk about the difference between the AIO-6 and the AIO-5, and the difference is an inch. And there's all sorts of jokes I can make here, but basically it makes a really big difference. I've got these, and they're really, the AIO-5 was perfectly good 20 years ago, when I could see the slightly smaller text straight in front of me. CarPlay is a little bit fiddly because the buttons are slightly small, but usable. The 6 actually changes that up quite significantly. I mean, it makes it basically the perfect size. It matches the display on the BMW itself. It doesn't look out of place. The 7-inch versions that are available out there and other brands like CarPuride, it does look like you've got a tablet there in front of you, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. It can slightly block the display below. It just looks a bit chunky and ugly to me. And in the actual day-to-day usability, it feels faster when you're using it. It's smooth. Can't believe all of the stuff it's doing at the same time. So you've got 2 cameras recording at 60 frames per second in HDR, front and rear, all the time. Plus it's running blind spot detection on the rear, and you get little red bars flash up on the sides of the screen if it detects something. I'm not particularly a fan of blind spot detection. Do your lifesavers, guys. That's what will save you much more than any little dot appearing. So sorry to lecture. IAM, they teach you, they drill it into your lifesaver. It's important. But it works. I mean, I didn't need any calibration. It works straight out of the box, and it does work. Tested it on the dual carriageway. It's running an awful lot of stuff all at the same time and chucking it all into that box, which doesn't get hot. The 6 is a big visual upgrade from the 5, particularly if you've not got particularly good short-term vision. Fighter pilot long vision for me, no issue whatsoever. But it's that short stuff where I'm not having to squint now. I can just see what I'm doing. And you'll see from the video on the screen, I'm able to type in addresses pretty easily with gloves on. It's also got a lock function on the top, which is pretty useful because all of these screens are all prone to it. The Garmin's, the BMWs, the Chigees. If it's raining heavily and it's getting onto the screen, it can do fake button presses. So that's the 6-inch versus 5-inch. So down to the cameras itself, I've got some really interesting comparison footage here, because what I did, I rough wired it up to the bike before I actually fully wired it in, because I wanted first of all to check it was working, but also I've got an Innovv K7, or I had an Innovv K7 on my bike. That gives you a clue, because I had it, I've taken it off. So I ran some side-to-side comparisons of the Innovv K7 and the dash cams on the Chigee. And frankly, the Chigees, whilst technically it's a slightly lower spec, because it's HDR cameras and they're running at 60 frames per second, it's better. You can see from the footage, there's no other way to doing it. You're getting a much better quality shot out of it. Still not up there with the GoPros of this world, but it's perfectly usable in videos like this one. Probably perfectly usable for your tour videos. Great as dash cam footage. It's got a similar level of detail to the Innovv, much better light and shade. So I did some runs through some heavily forested areas with the sun. It was actually very, very contrasty when I was running through those woods. And you'll see the Innovv stuff whites out and mists out a little bit, whereas the Chigee is absolutely fine. But there we are, first impressions of this thing. It's a really nice piece of kit, one that I've genuinely enjoyed using. I've got a couple of links down below because I believe Chigee, I don't know when this will go active, but I believe Chigee will give you a 10% discount if you use the code, because they sent me this one for free to test because I've tested a load of other stuff from them before. But this is a genuine review. If I don't like it, I'll say I don't like it, but I think they probably knew I was going to be fairly favourable to it because I liked the 5, and the 6 for me is brilliant. It's exactly what I needed, and they've managed to integrate the camera stuff into it really well. There's no separate GPS module now either, it's all built into the unit. No, fair play to them. They're a small company, well, we're a small company that's done some pretty clever stuff in the motorcycle world in a pretty short period of time, and everything about them seems to be getting better and better, so I've got no hesitation in recommending them. And you can buy them straight over the shelf here, you don't need to order it on their website. I mean, I think again a Bike Thing sells them, so if you're not keen on the online route, and I think it delivered from Hong Kong, which took 2 days, but like I say, if you're the kind of person that wants to buy it, talking to somebody and have a physical product over the counter, they are available in, I know a Bike Thing do them. Looking forward to some more stuff on this. I might do a little bit more in depth on certain features as I discover them and use them, but it's good to be back, and hopefully see you all again soon.